Hello everyone and welcome to my research about Singlish. What is Singlish? It is a English-based Creole language spoken in Singapore. When British arrived in Singapore and they established the system of English medium education, at that time Singlish started originating and parts of English quickly filtered out from the schools onto the streets, and that resulted in the making of uh, a new pidgin language spoken by non-native speakers. You can say as a lingua franca used for communication between the speakers of all of the different cultures and languages people, as I mentioned before, living over there. So Singlish evolved mainly among the working classes, learned elements of English without formal schooling, mixing in elements of their native languages. So, when some time passed, this new pidgin language, now combined with substantial influences from Indian English, um, Peranakan, southern varieties of Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, became the primary language of the streets. Later on, this became the Creole with the formalization of the grammar and syntax. Talking about whether this will thrive and this will continue its stability through next generations, yes, it will be able to thrive um, with the country's future generations. Um, One of the personally one of the reasons I think is that the country's economy and the government and its politics is doing good. Economically also the country is doing good. So we all know many things about Singapore, um, that its stability of its government and the many socio-economic factors, and they are all stable. So this is one of the reasons I think this language is gonna thrive in the future generations. Other than that, another reason I think is that as Singlish started growing in popularity, the youngsters started to acquire it as their native language. So now we can call it that there are many native speakers of Singlish. That's why it's gonna grow more and more over time. We should also remember that this process by which a pidgin starts becoming a Creole is called creolization. Through this process of creolization, Singlish became a fully formed, stabilized, and independent Creole language, acquiring more robust vocabulary, grammar, and syntax. Um, and we know that it has a kind of stable phonology, morphology, and also embedding. Here, I would like to remove a misperception or misconception of the public about Singlish. Usually, people think that kind of a broken language, and you can add whatever you like at the end of a sentence, like from the words la or leh or ler or lor or liao or meh, ah, ha, ba, sia. These words are formally, these should be formally studied and understood where do they fit, and then the speaker can speak them correctly. Otherwise, grammatically, the sentence could be wrong. The usage of these expressions or words must be rightly matching the accent, tone of the expression, and the situation. Let's say, for example, asking a question, it and ending a sentence in la it's wrong. It's grammatically wrong because ending a sentence with la usually means some kind of reply that yes, I did that. Basically, la means past tense with any sentence. When you say la, it means past tense in Chinese. This specifically comes from Chinese. Um, so when you end a question with la, it would be incorrect. So instead, a question should be ended with ma, and a correct tone should be used like ma. Another point to be noted here is that because of the origins, Singlish shares many similarities with other English-based Creole languages. It has linguistically proven similarities with Manglish or Bazar Malay of Malaysia, although a few distinctions can be made, particularly in vocabulary. I would say Manglish generally receives more Malay influence, and Singlish it received Chinese like Mandarin or Hokkien, etc. Uh, Initially, Singlish and Manglish were essentially the same dialect evolving from British Malaya economy that was born in the trading ports of Singapore, Malacca, and Penang, when Singapore and peninsular Malaysia were were for many purposes a de facto, which is from 1963 to 1965, single entity. They used to be single entity. So ever since then, the two countries separated. As a result, a divergence has been observed, including Singlish. That's all for today, and thank you for listening, everyone. Bye for now.